So today I'm going to be showing you the build I'm going to be using mainly for 2K21. This build is actually inspired by, like, Jono's actually made a similar build, but he made it slightly different. And I've never like really thought about making the height that he made it, but like it makes so much more sense if you do it. So the physical or the pie chart you're gonna pick, I was basically scrolling through it. You definitely want to be a defensive pie chart because I'm going to be playing the 5, the 3, the 2, depending on the game mode. So you definitely want defense. Otherwise, it's just going to be, there's no point really. So the best one to pick, from in my opinion, is a finishing and defensive pie chart. And now you can go, but the strength I think is going to be, so important this year. And there's nothing really more balanced than the balanced archetype. Yeah, you got speed, strength, and more importantly, the vertical as well. For this close shot, like no one knows what close shot does. This build is pretty much a finishing build anyway. So, we're never gonna waste our time, deciding what it's gonna be. So I'm just gonna, I always ignore close shot unless you're like a guard or something. I'm not really sure, but the three things we're gonna focus on are like the layup, driving dunk, and standing dunk. Close shot, someone explain what that means. And yeah, the reason why this build is actually slightly different to the one he made is this build can actually shoot. So now, if you put the 3 pointer up, it's still 52. I think it's going to be inconsistent. And look, you can actually get 7 shooting badges. So depending on how you want to make this, I've literally done different types. As you can see, if you go fully out, you can make 9 shooting badges. So it's 1877. And in my opinion, you actually don't need 20 plus defensive badges. You just need about maybe 17. So if you want to make it like this, you're more than welcome. But for me personally, I like defensive badges more. And I don't think the 3 pointer is going to be consistent anyway. Even with a 52, I mean, we don't know. But I may have to remake this build later on. But for me now, the key thing is just making sure I have enough shooting badges to shoot the mid range. So like if I get the ball in the mid range, I want to make sure it's going to be green every time. So I think 5 shooting badges should be enough. So as you can see, I'm just changing the spec again. If you want to make it like this, you can. But I'm going to show you the final, obviously, version of the one I personally made. The key thing is because you're 6'7", you have so much strength that you're able to guard the 1 to the 5, and you're so much quicker than the bigs that it's just a size disadvantage. So you're going to be too quick for the bigs, and you're going to be too strong for the smaller players. And as you can see, I'm just kind of thinking here, I'm like, okay, what should I do? I don't think you need 18 finishing badges. Obviously, more finishing badges, the better. But I think ideally about 15, it should be enough. 15 should cover everything you need to do. Contact dunks, finishing lobs, um, well, I'm gonna see how OP fancy footwork is gonna be this year. I may have to change it, but based off of the demo, it hasn't been too overpowered just yet. So I'll just leave it bronze for now. Well, later on in the video you see it when I make the badges. But as you can see, I'm still tweaking it right now. I'm still trying to think what is the best way to do this. Initially I was just gonna leave my offensive rebound kind of low because you're 6'7", you're already going to be snagging offensive boards over like 6'9" centers. Because a lot of people I think are going to make the 6'9" version of this build, which is still a very, very good build. But the key thing is, once you get to the height, you're going to see why I make it 6'7" as well. So now I realize I can actually get about 20 plus playmaking badges. I don't really need 7 shooting badges. All I really need is catch and shoot and, green machine just to make sure it's consistent. And range extender just to make sure I'm able to green it down. So I realize like I don't need 7. Maybe if I lower it down to 5. If you want to leave it at 7, like I said, if you guys want to, so because I think the build is so versatile, you can make it anyhow you want. That's the good thing about this build, and the fact that it can shoot, it's just gonna make it so much harder to guard, especially off the pick and roll, because you can just pick and pop and shoot it, or just go pick and roll and get your alley-oop finishes. You can guard, like so you can guard the point guard because as you can see, once I lower my height, your lateral quickness is actually in the 80s. So not only do you have the strength to guard, guard the big men, you can actually guard the point guards as well. So I think this build is going to be so difficult to handle, so difficult to play with. It's going to be so annoying. It's very, very unusual because, like I said, you also have to understand every center in this game is going to be about 6'8", 6'9", and every guard is going to be about 6'5", 6'6". On average, you're going to see the odd 6'8", 6'11", 7-foot centers, but there's not going to be too many of them. So it's going to be about 6'9". So being 6'7", isn't massively much of a disadvantage. And the reason why I actually chose, as you can see, my strength. Once I lower it and increase my weight, you're gonna see it. So body type for me, you can go solid, but if you want to max your weight, you want to go over a much slimmer build so you can, just widen yourself out. As you can see at 6'7", the key thing is it's the ball handling for me. So as you can see, I have 95 strength. The ball handling, you get all the pro dribble moves, you're able to get it. Look at your drive and dunk, you'll be able to get all the drive and dunk packages. Um, like now, my standing dunk is 85. So it's just ridiculous. And look at my ball handling, it's still 71. That's the key for now. My strength is 90 once you max out your wingspan. Look at the defensive rebound. Believe me, guys, if you're a good defender in this game, you can get away with having a 70 defensive rebound. Now, here, you can choose slash and takeover, glass takeover, but because of my height, I want to make up for it. So I'm going to choose the rim takeover. Like I said, you can choose the slash and takeover, and I think the slash and takeover is just going to be so OP. If you're going to have fun on this build, it's only because I'm going to be playing comp with this build as well. So it's just kind of like, the slash and takeover is still OP. As you can see, it's called a slash and 4. And I think sooner rather than later, people are going to realize that this is the build to make as well. There's probably going to be a lot more people later on making this build. I think people are going to start off making a 6'9" version, but then when they start to see that, the 6'7s are just absolutely destroying them, they're going to change. But like I said, I have 21 defensive badges. The more the defense, the better. This is how I normally spec, just to arrange my badges. As you can see, key thing is you can get, like, I think you can get away with having gold defensive rebound chaser if you want. As long as you have gold box, it shouldn't be a problem. Like, you won't really be snagging over like 6'10" centers anyway, even with max uh offensive stats like offensive rebound. So this is how I normally like to leave my badges. You can see clamp silver, good enough to, rim protector gold. Depending on who I'm playing with, I can have Hall of Fame. If I want to play with an ISO player on the twos, I can just take off brick wall. I don't really need it. Put brick wall on, you still have enough strength to set big bodies as well. Playmaking, very, very key. Quick first step gold. You're just going to be so much quicker off the triple threat size up. Depending if I'm playing rec or twos, I can go brick star, downhill, bailout, so OP because you can literally just pass out every driving layup, driving dunk you're doing. Unblockable, so you don't get, stolen the ball, and that's pretty much it. For the shooting badges, green machine, catch and shoot, range extender are the things you would need. I may go hot zone hunter depending on how OP that's going to be. So I might go silver range extender and bronze hot zone hunter because I'm only going to be taking middies 90% of the time anyway. I won't really be shooting the threes like that, but you can make it to shoot threes like we did previously. For slashing badges, contact finisher, slithery finisher, so OP. And like I said, depending on how OP fancy footwork is, I may respec this badge, but I'm kind of happy with this. Consistent finisher is so underrated, and I think it's such a good badge. But that's pretty much going to be the build I'm going to be using this year. It's so unusual, but I think it's going to be so OP. So yeah, if you guys like the build, I would definitely recommend trying it out before writing it off.